up, crypto fam? What up, what up, what up? Don't know what's going on with my audio, but yo, yo, yo. Yo, 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 yo. Oh, hot, hot, hot. Coming in hot, 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 hot. Oh. How we looking, boys? How we looking, baby? How we sounding? Mic check, mic check, mic check. All right, all right. We Gucci. There we go. We got some music. Turn that up a little bit. Yo, what up, guys? How's that for you guys? Good? All right, you talk me into it. Who we got in here? Patrick, what up? Danny B, what up? Harry, what up? Derek, what up? FOMO in the house, what up, man? What's up, what's up? DJ, what's good, what's good? How's everybody doing tonight? Trader Timmy in the house. Dane, what up? Danny B in the house, what up? Down Moto 2. Rich, what up, homie? Welcome to the squad, man. Y'all guys ready for, we gotta make up for last night, man. We gotta make up for last night. I'm done with Mac, man. I am done with Mac. As sad as that makes me. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. I couldn't even go in the public tonight because I went to the Apple store and I got that Mac fixed and I didn't get it fixed. They said that there was nothing wrong with it. I come home and turn it on instantly. Same issues. And I'm like, mother effer. And then they told me that it was Wirecast, the program. Hey, Alexa. Stop. They told me it was the program, and I didn't think to check a different program, right? I knew that it was something with my camera. When I turned my camera on, it was like having issues, and I thought it was either the software and I burned up the CPU, or it was something with the update on Windows, or with Mac, and sure enough, it was the update on Mac. This one I have not updated. It's same software, same program, same everything. You know, not as issues. I mean, it's still laggy from time to time. There's something going on with Mac. Make up for last night. We didn't get shat done, man. We didn't get nothing done. Last night sucked, man. I was all excited, like, hell yeah, I'm gonna teach these guys how to use this Chainweaver wallet, man. We're gonna get everybody all set up. We ended up with more problems than we started with. We didn't solve shit last night. Phantom Wallet is on Mac. Yeah, it's badass, man. So that's what we're going to get down with today. We're going to get down with the Solana ecosystem. So hopefully everybody's been doing their homework. Hopefully everybody's caught up to speed. I think we should start with a little bit of whiteboard crypto really quick, just to give a brief overview of what DEXs are and how they work, in case anybody's brand new in here. Then we're going to dive right into all things Raydium and Solana DeFi.
Have you ever been in a...
So in case anybody's absolute brand new here, right? When people are talking about a DEX, they're referring to a decentralized exchange like Uniswap, SushiSwap, Bake, PancakeSwap. Each ecosystem will end up having maybe their main DEX or several main DEXs. We use, when Ethereum was just popping, it was Ethereum, or it was Uniswap and Sushi. Pancake or Binance Chain launched, Binance Smart Chain launched, and then we had PancakeSwap, and then Bake came after that, and I think a couple other ones, Taco Swap or some other goofy things. On Cosmos, they use Osmosis. Each ecosystem will have its own main DEX. Now, luckily with Kadena's ecosystem, we should have two DEXs. We're gonna have CADEX and then KD Swap so far. We also have NightDEX and AnyDEX, but NightDEX and AnyDEX, I wouldn't use them until we actually seen them actually in use and actually seen more development, because the DEX game is pretty cutthroat. There's normally one DEX that dominates on ecosystem, so it's going to be interesting to see which one does. The days of just every DEX going parabolic, I think, especially in bearish market conditions, because there's just not that big of a demand for it, especially being a brand new ecosystem. I'd be very cautious going into any DEX outside of CADX and KD swap right off the bat. Just my thought process. But let's dive into some whiteboard crypto and learn it together.
An arcade. I've actually been to a lot of arcades, and they're usually a lot of fun, especially if you have a cute girl or a beautiful woman with you. Nevertheless, to play the games at an arcade, you usually need to bring a backpack of quarters. Now these quarters are heavy, but they are the fee to play the games. At least, this is the case at many arcades. A few weekends ago, I went to an arcade that didn't let me use quarters. In fact, I had to trade my quarters for a special arcade token in order to play their games. Now, there's probably psychological and economical factors for this that probably led to me giving them more money, but I had to exchange my quarters for their version of a quarter. Did you know that you can actually do this in crypto? Welcome to Whiteboard Crypto, the #1 YouTube channel for crypto education, and here we explain topics of the cryptocurrency world using analogies, stories, and examples so that you can easily understand them. In this video, we are going to explain what a decentralized exchange is, or a DEX, and some of the benefits that they have over a centralized exchange, or a SEX, and also two methods of how they work. A DEX is a decentralized exchange, meaning that it allows you to trade your crypto coins and tokens in a decentralized way. First off, you need to understand that they work without a central authority. Instead, they replace a central authority with a smart contract. Smart contracts are pieces of code that allow two people to enter into an agreement. It's basically like a legal agreement, instead it's written in code. So if both parties do what they agreed to, the smart contract will work like it should. But if one person wants to try something fishy, the smart contract won't let them, or they'll give the other person their money back. So DEXs do have limitations though. They only allow you to swap crypto for crypto. And those cryptocurrencies do have to be on the same blockchain. For example, if you used Uniswap, you can only swap Ethereum and Ethereum tokens. SushiSwap though, which we have a video over, has expanded to many other blockchains, but you still cannot swap in between those blockchains. As of right now, you must stay within the realm of the blockchain of the token that you have. If you'd like to do inter-blockchain token switching, you'd need to watch our video on blockchain bridges. But moving on, let's go over some benefits and drawbacks of a DEX first, then we'll get into how they work. First off, one of the major benefits of DEXs is that you don't need to submit your KYC info. KYC stands for Know Your Customer, and this means you don't need to submit your social security number, your profile pictures, there's no fingerprinting, you don't even need to share your name. Now this is a huge part of decentralized finance, being anonymous. Secondly, there is no centralized authority. Instead of trusting Coinbase or Binance, you just have to trust the smart contract, which is essentially code. Code, in fact, is much more reliable than humans. This code is what we call open source, which means you can take a look at it if you want and find bugs or errors. Usually, this means hundreds of great developers are going to check it out before using it. Now another thing is that these DEXs are usually much faster than centralized exchanges, allowing you to transfer tokens in mere seconds, and they usually require a very small fee, pennies on the dollar compared to centralized exchanges. So DEXs are faster, cheaper, trustless, and they don't require any personal info. Already it sounds like great technology waiting to blow up. But they don't come without downsides though. DEXs don't come with support. This means if you have an issue, there's nobody to call, nobody to message about your issue. Sometimes they do have community forums, but those are just other people generously helping out, not someone required to offer you help. This means if you do something wrong and you send your coins to a different address, or maybe you buy a scam coin that looks similar to a true coin, it's going to be your fault and you'll probably never get them back. So you've got to be very careful what you do on a DEX. Another drawback is that you must use a hot storage device. This means your wallet must be connected to the internet. On a centralized exchange, your tokens sit on their exchange, waiting to be moved around at your beck and call. But using a decentralized exchange, you must connect a wallet either through your computer physically or through using an extension like MetaMask. Another drawback is that sometimes these DEXs have low liquidity, meaning that if you buy a lot of a token, the price's coin should shoot up. Vice versa too, if you sell a ton of tokens, you could crash the price. Lastly, as we mentioned before, the code is open for anyone to see, and this is a double-sided sword. If a hacker wants to, they can experiment with the code, find a bug, and then if they find a vulnerability, they could simply exploit it. Now,
does everybody understand what he just said here? what's on this slide. Especially the low liquidity part. Does everybody understand why DEXs are a little bit more dangerous and the slippage and higher fees? Do you guys understand that part? I kind of do. I think I do enough to explain it to you guys. But again, like they say, no support, right? So when you have an issue with the DEX and something's not working, SOL, baby. I mean, you can file like... you can file cases and whatever, but it's not like normal customer support. Like this is like the old wild, wild west. So yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everybody good on that part? Cool, cool, cool.
If they find a vulnerability, they could simply exploit it. Now, let's get on to how they actually work. First off, we want to explain to you the order book method. So the order book method is the exact method that the United States stock market uses. In fact, it works and it has worked for ages, but it does have some drawbacks when it comes to decentralized finance. So how it works is if you want to buy or sell something, you simply pick a price you want to buy that asset for, and then you put in an order. So if you want to buy something, you give the third party, either the stock market exchange or a smart contract, your money. When it finds someone who wants to perform the exact trade that you're offering, it swaps the two and gives you what you want. When you sell something, on the other hand, you just give it the asset that you want to sell and wait for someone to come along who wants to buy it. Otherwise, you can look at the whole order book and find someone who has already put an order in. Then you can agree to their terms and complete the transaction. We're working on a video about limit orders and market orders, so maybe it'll clear some of this up. But this is traditional finance. And the big downside of this is that you have to wait around for someone else to completely agree to your transaction terms. You'll also have to have your funds or your assets locked up until a third party comes along and agrees. There aren't very many DEXs that use this method, but it's because there's a much better method when it comes to DeFi. And that is using an automated market maker, otherwise known as an AMM. An automated market maker is the algorithm that most DEXs use. Now there's many benefits for this. For one, you don't have to wait around for a person to match with the price that you want to trade with. Instead, you're trading with a pool of funds instead of a person. Each token that you buy, the pool of funds gradually charges you more and more. And each token that you sell to it, it gradually gives you less and less. Now these pools are actually called liquidity pools. And we have two great videos on how they work, liquidity pools and automated market makers. Our liquidity pool video explains how investors can make money, and our AMM video explains exactly how the algorithm works. Now these algorithms use a special formula to make sure that they can always sell more and more tokens, even if they have barely any left. The less they have, the more they charge. This incentivizes some traders to come along and balance the pool back out by making a profit off of the opposite trade. These algorithms work amazingly well to set prices and allow traders to trade, which is probably why most DEXs use them. So that's actually all we have for this video. There wasn't too much to cover about a DEX, but we hope that we've covered the important parts. Thank you guys so much for watching this video.
Everybody got a general understanding of what a DEX is. We're definitely going to go into the AMMs, especially not just for teaching you guys what DeFi is, but I'm a huge believer the more you understand about a project, if you don't know how a DEX works and what an AMM is or an MMM or any of the sort, right? Guess what I'm going to say next? Who wants to tell me? Right? You don't even know how the DEX works. You got no fucking clue. Adding a DEX coin to your portfolio, right? If you don't understand the assets that you're investing in, you know, especially if you don't understand what the difference between one DEX is and another, you'll end up owning Cake, Pancake Swap, Crow, Sushi Swap, Uniswap. You'll have a ton of swaps. You'll have every swap in your portfolio just in case one of them hits it, you know? So let's dive into these AMAs because these are what excite me the most and I'm probably the least educated on it.
This video and watch it again. Something should be based on You might be wondering, what is an automated market maker? Well, an automated market maker allows traders to buy and sell certain coins using an algorithm that dictates how expensive something should be based on how much of it there is. As someone buys one asset, it gets more and more expensive because there's less of it. And as they give it another asset, it gets cheaper and cheaper because there's more of it. Basically, it's supply and demand, but it's using an algorithm instead of the traditional method, which uses a person. Welcome to Whiteboard.
That right there is exactly why I'm getting so irritated with KuCoin freezing Kadena. When they are freezing Kadena and they quote unquote possibly are selling you Kadena that they do not own, that's a problem. Because these algorithms can't work right when they're not getting accurate amount of coins. When KuCoin's like, oh yeah, we're just going to sell Kadena until we can't sell anymore. And then we're going to try to freeze accounts so price tanks, and then we can buy it back off a third-party market and bring it back into our exchange, man. I'm dying to look into KuCoin order books. We're going to do that here.
Where we explain cryptocurrency topics using analogies, stories, and examples so that you can actually understand them. And in this video, we're going to cover what an automated market maker is and exactly how it works. Let's dig in. Let's say that you're a potato farmer. You're sick and tired of going to work and seeing potatoes everywhere, then coming home to eat only more potatoes, even though you can cook some potatoes in very interesting ways. You do not want any more potatoes. But here's the real kicker though. You live in a village of potato farmers, so you can't really trade your potatoes for anything else. It would be nice to trade my potatoes for something else like apples, you think. Well, along comes a trader who has access to a boat, and he says, I found a village over east who grows apples and they are sick of them. I am here to see if you would like to invest in a trade. Well, now that your wish has come true and you don't want the chance to disappear, you tell the trader yes. He says, the apple farmers have put up 50,000 apples to add to my apple potato exchange business. If you can give me 50,000 potatoes, we can get started. So your village has a meeting and they decide to join the trader in exchanging apples and potatoes. The trader goes, here's the thing though, I have a magical genie with me that will store all 50,000 apples and all 50,000 potatoes in his magical lamp to keep safe. That way they don't go bad. But he wants to keep a perfect ratio of the value of both of these. The trader goes on, since together we put in 50,000 apples and 50,000 potatoes, he wants both of these numbers to always multiply to equal 2.5 billion, which is equal to 50,000 times 50,000. This way, if one year there are less apples, the apples will cost more to buy. Now, if you're currently confused at what the magical genie has mentioned, it is actually the formula for a type of automated market maker called a constant product automated market maker. It uses the inverse formula, x times y equals k. Well, x and y are the quantities or the amounts of the things that you have, where k is a constant that always stays the same and it does not change. In this case, k is 2.5 billion. Let's keep going on with an example so that maybe you can understand it just a bit better. The trader says, right now there is a perfect 50-50 ratio of potatoes to apples, but that is because I have priced them each at $1. When you guys start trading, one of these may become more valuable, and thus it should be priced at more than $1. Let me go through an example with you guys so you know how it works. Alright, so right now there are 50,000 apples and 50,000 potatoes, and the number of both of those must equal 2.5 billion when multiplied. So let's say a potato farmer comes along with 7,000 potatoes to trade, because they really want some apples. So he gives them to the genie, and he waits while the genie figures out how many apples to give him. So now we have 57,000 potatoes in the genie's lamp, but we need to know how many apples to give the potato farmer. So let's start with some math. So we take 2.5 billion and we divide it by 57,000. You might be wondering why? Well, hopefully you'll see in a second. The answer we get to this math question is 43,859. So this is the number of apples that should be left over in the magical genie's lamp. However, right now there's 50,000. So we just need to find out the difference and give the difference to the potato farmer. Well, the difference is 6,140. So we give the potato farmer 6,140 apples. Now you might be wondering, how come we gave 7,000 potatoes, but we got around 6,000 apples? Well, as more and more more apples were bought up, they became more expensive. This is why the farmer didn't get exactly 7,000 apples back. So now there are 57,000 potatoes and 43,859 apples in the genie's lamp. Let's make sure that we didn't upset the genie. 57,000 times 43,859 does equal 2.5 billion. So the magical genie is still happy. I hope that this is starting to make sense, and if you've gotten this far into my explanation of how an automated market maker happens, without even using any technical words, I think we deserve a big thumbs up. But before we continue with another example, let's run over a quick example of finding out how much each asset costs in dollars. So assume that there was $50,000 worth of apples in the beginning, since the magical genie said he priced them at $1 and there was 50,000 of them. So we just need to keep $50,000 as a constant when we're calculating their value. This is how much each asset should equal. So potatoes would be $50,000 over 57,000, because that's how many potatoes we have, which brings their price to 87.7 pennies for each potato. You might be wondering, why did they drop from $1? Well, it's because someone brought a lot more of them to the genie. It's basic supply and demand. For example, if you could grow gold on trees in your backyard, gold would suddenly be a lot cheaper because there's a lot more of it. The more there is in the genie's lamp, the less they will cost. So from now on, instead of saying genie's lamp, I'm going to call it what it really is, a liquidity pool. So now let's calculate the price of the apples. This calculation would be $50,000 over 43,859. This means the apples are worth $1.14. They rose in price because there's less of them in the liquidity pool. So since this potato trader gave a bunch of potatoes to the liquidity pool and took out a bunch of apples, the price of apples went up and the price of potatoes went down, basically due to supply and demand, which is shown in the formula x times y equals k. Now, I personally learned from examples, and this concept took me a week of studying to fully understand. So let's go over another example. Let's say a potato farmer brings up another 10,000 potatoes. So now there are 67,000 potatoes in the pool. We need to know how many apples to give that potato farmer. So we use our constant of 2.5 billion divided by 67,000 and we get 37,313. This means that there should be 37,313 apples in the pool. But right now we have 43,859. So we just calculate the difference and give it to the potato farmer, which is 6,546.
All right, let's do a test one. Let's do a test one, see who's paying attention. What's my next move? Haha. You don't have to spell check me, homie. If you could figure out what I was talking about, we good. Right, what is the next value that I need to add on this screen to finish this equation? Ooh, Blue already figured it out. What is the number that Blue needed to figure out this equation? There's one video. If I put back up the screen, you'll see it. But how do we solve this problem? How do you get the value of apples? There you go. Total sum. There we go. Digital Apollyon, got it. So we're missing the total sum, right? Because it's the equation is what? What's the equation? There you go, Nacho Libre. Nailed it. Yep. X times Y equals K, right? So what is our K value? Nope. Doesn't have to equal 100,000. Nope. Oh, yeah, what is K? What is the value of K? Pool value. There you go, Stewie. So the pool value has to remain constant. There you go, Danny B. Danny B's got it. 2.5 billion. So your pool price remains constant because the value of each asset in the beginning has to remain the same. Let me see if I can. I want to make sure you guys can see this right. All right. So if our total is 2.5 billion. Make sure I'm teaching this and saying this right, because I'm just learning as we go along. I mean, I kind of know a little bit about it, but I'm still learning there right along with you guys. So don't feel, and when I ask and when I'm teaching, if you guys are new here and you don't know my style, when I ask questions, it's not to make you sound stupid. I promise you that. It's just the way I teach is how I learn it really well. So when people are asking these questions to me, right? There you go, Harry. It's 2.5 divided by 77,000. Right, will be 32,467 apples. I believe Harry nailed that. $32,247. Yep. Everybody with us so far? And let's just rewatch that and make sure we're doing this right, so we're all on the same page, right? You can see here, he had 67,000 apples, or sorry, 67,000 potatoes, and the math was 2.5 billion divided by 67,000 gave him 37,331. But because we increased the amount of potatoes, the value ratio has to stay the same at all times. So let me show you this. And this goes into impermanent loss, right? Because the pool stays the same. So if the value of this, we can take it up a step farther here too. Watch this. So here we go for impermanent loss, right? This is where it gets really, really dangerous. This is a perfect setup for everybody. Gosh damn it, man. I'm always having, sorry, Twitter, I gotta stop. I'm having issues. Damn it, man. I hope that other PC fixes all this. I doubt it's going to. Am I glitching on your guys' end? Or is everything good? Everything good on your guys' end? All right. So if we have 30,000, right? KDA. If I had a pool with 33,000 Kadena right now, and we'll just keep it simple. We'll keep it real simple. We'll just say the price of Kadena is $4. If I want to start a liquidity pool and I want to use, and I got 30,000 KDA in my wallet and I want to start that pool, how much UST do I need to have in my wallet? Stewie the Crazy. Stewie the Crazy says 120,000. Anybody else want to take any other guesses? Or do you guys think Stewie's right? Drop a 1 if you think Stewie's right. Drop a number if you think something else. $120K, $120K. And why is that? So somebody that didn't answer that question with 120K, somebody else that didn't answer 120K, let me know why. There you go, Dane. 30,000 times 4. Yep. Yo, what up, Crypto Rick? Class is in session, man. Welcome to the party. There you go, Charles. Exactly. The pool value has to be equal, right? So here they're saying that the value of the pool is 2.5 billion, right? Well, we don't know what the value of the pool is because we are making the pool, right? So we're going to be the first one to start the pool. But in order to start the pool, the total value of potatoes has to be the same as the total value of apples. In our example, KDA is $4, right? And UST is $1. You just multiply it, right? So if I want to deposit 30,000 KDA, I'm going to take 30,000. Sorry, you were right on that when you said 30,000 times it by 4 equals 120,000. So now we got 120,000 UST in the pool, and we got 30,000 KDA in the pool. What is the total value of our pool? Nope, we don't know the value of the pool yet, Blue. Unless it is 2.5 billion. then you're really smart. Then you got it right away. We're making the pool, so there is no total value yet. We're the first people to start up a pool. They just launched on CADX, just launched, and we want to be the first person to start a pool. Close Simran. So what Simran did there is Simran added them. But he added 30,000 KDA. There would be a total of 150,000 coins in the pool. 30,000 Kadena coins. But the Kadena coins are worth what? $4? Right? So we got 30,000 KDA. And really what you're going to do is you're going to do 30,000 times 4, right? That would be the first part of the equation. So 30,000. Sorry, and it wouldn't be times, it'd be plus. And then here again, you're doing 120,000 times 1. So this would actually be the mathematical equation, if I'm not mistaken. You guys see that? There we go. So this is the equation. It's going to be 30,000 times 4. 30,000 times 4 equals 120,000. So we got our 120,000 right here. Now we got 30,000. Oh, yep. So 120,000, 120,000. You guys with me so far? So 30,000 times 4 equals 120K. And then same thing, this equals 120K, giving us a grand total of 240,000. Right, yep, Kadena Britton, got it, nailed it on the dot. Nope, not 44 billion, nope, just 240,000. Yep, and why do we need, so Simran goes, oh, we need 2 assets in the pool. And why is that, Simran? What are these pools, what is the purpose of these pools? Yeah, that's what the thumbnail says, Ricky Rick. DeFi training. I'm not teaching DeFi now. We talking about going to the beach. Yeah, we talking about DeFi. Yes, sir, baby. I don't think I'm teaching you guys how to sew, how to quilt, but I could be. Right, so, right, Simran said to help people swap between assets easily. I guess that would be a way to say it. How would you ever swap something if there wasn't a pool with 2 assets in it? Let's go, Rick. This isn't Quilting 101? Who brought the yarn? Oh, did I say X times Y? Did I get that equation wrong? Oh, yeah. Because your X times Y is after you already have the value of potatoes, right? Like if you're just doing just potatoes, potatoes wouldn't have, right? They wouldn't have a value. Potatoes wouldn't be worth, you get there over in this one. Let's watch this one more time to make sure I'm saying that right.
Get started. So your village has a meeting and they decide to join the trader in exchanging apples and potatoes. The trader goes, "Here's the thing though, I have a magical genie with me that will store all 50,000 apples and all 50,000 potatoes in his magical lamp to keep safe. That way they don't go bad. But he wants to keep a perfect ratio of the value of both of these." The trader goes on, "Since together we put in 50,000 apples and 50,000 potatoes, he wants both of these numbers to always multiply to equal 2.5 billion, which is equal to 50,000 times 50,000. This way, if one year there are less apples, the apples will cost more to buy." Now, if you're currently confused at what the magical genie has mentioned, it is actually the formula for a type of automated market maker called a constant product automated market maker. It uses the inverse formula, x times y equals k. Well, x and y are the quantities or the amounts of the things that you have, where k is a constant that always stays the same and it does not change. In this case, k is 2.5 billion. Let's keep going on with an example so that maybe you can understand it just a bit better. The trader says, "Right now there is a perfect 50-50 ratio of potatoes to apples, but that is because I have priced them each at $1. When you guys start trading, one of these may become more valuable, and thus it should be priced at more than $1. Let me go through an example with you guys so you know.
There it was, right? So he priced them both at $1, right? So you don't have to do any simple math there. Yep. Let's watch that again to see how they break it down.
You know how it works. Alright, so right now there are 50,000 apples and 50,000 potatoes, and the number of both of those must equal 2.5 billion when multiplied. So let's say a potato farmer comes along with 7,000 potatoes to trade, because they really want some apples. So he gives them to the genie, and he waits while the genie figures out how many apples to give him. So now we have 57,000 potatoes in the genie's lamp, but we need to know how many apples to give the potato farmer. So let's start with some math. So we take 2.5 billion and we divide it by 57,000. You might be wondering why? Well, hopefully you'll see in a second. The answer we get to this math question is 43,859. So this is the number of apples that should be left over in the magical genie's lamp. However, right now there's 50,000. So we just need to find out the difference and give the difference to the potato farmer. Well, the difference is 6,140. So we give the potato farmer 6,140 apples. Now you might be wondering, how come we gave 7,000 potatoes, but we got around 6,000 apples? Well, as more and more apples were bought up, they became more expensive. This is why the farmer didn't get exactly 7,000 apples back. So now there are 57,000 potatoes and 43,859 apples in the genie's lamp. Let's make sure that we didn't upset the genie. 57,000 times 43,859 does equal 2.5 billion. So the magical genie is still happy. I hope that this is starting to make sense, and if you've gotten this far...
Yes, that's it. I don't know how his example works in the real world, x times y equals k, but I think we could reverse engineer it and give it a shot. So now we have our total, and let's just say our total is 240,000, right? So what is our x value? What is our x and y value? Yep, we're going to reverse engineer it, Stewie. We are doing two cryptos. We're doing UST and KDA. No, we're not there yet, Stewie. One step at a time, buddy. You're a little bit more advanced than everybody else, so hold up. Right? 30K can't times right? All right, Crypto Rick's got a guess. He says divide 240,000 divided by 30,000 equals 8, right? So it is 8 times 8 equals 64. So that can't be our x. So Kevin's got one. Close. I don't know. I don't really know how to figure this out. So hopefully one of you guys does. I could do it. I could figure it out if I just sat there and played with it. I cheated through math class. Me too. Yeah, we can do it this, but we have to give them values, right? So what times what equals 240, right? So if we just, like, if I literally did 100 times 100, what do I got? I got 10,000. So if I did 1,000 times 1,000, I got 1,000,000. So I think you could just do it, right? So there you go. Tommy B's got it. 490 times 490 equals. Oh, close there, Tommy. Really close. So it'd be like 248. Or sorry, 489 times 489. A little bit less. So it'd be 489.5. I don't know how else to better figure this out, but we're getting close. There it is, 489.9. Now you're always going to have, you know, a fraction of a little bit of a hair over or under. Yep. So I'm going to show you guys. Hang tight. I'll make it all make sense. Promise. I'm dumb money as fuck, so we'll get there. So 489.9 times 489.9 equals 240,000, right? You guys with me so far? So if we say that 120 UST is equal to 489.9 and 30,000 KDA is equal to 489.9, then we have our XKY or our XYK. X times Y equals K, right? Because in order to use his algorithm, that's how you have to make it make sense, right? So when you start your pool, your algorithm is going to do that. Your total value of the pool is 240,000. So then you take your total value of your assets, you square root them, and then you assign a constant value, right? To keep the pool the same. So we can just skip right past that, but that's how they're going to do the math to make it make sense in the pool. Now we have a total value of 244,000. So what happens if Kadena goes up to $5? Sit tight, Branch. I got you guys. It doesn't matter how the algorithm gives it the value, right? I could take this and say 200 times 600, right, equals 240,000. It doesn't matter what values you assign. You just need the ratio, right? I could say that 120, UST equals 489.9, or I can say it equals 289 and then KDA value equals 689. You just need to have a value ratio that you can multiply. We're going to reference back to it here in a minute. Right? So check this out. Outside of trying to understand the X times Y equals K thing, in my personal opinion, all that matters is this value right here, the 240,000. All right, so if we got a pool, right? So we got a pool, and our total of our pool right? Our K value is 240,000, right? So this is the value that has to remain constant. That has to remain constant. So if the total value in our pool has to remain constant and Kadena goes up to $5, right? What would the total value of the pool be? Right? If Kadena went up to $5, what would the value of the pool be? Oh shit, my bad. There you go. There you go. You guys are getting it. Exactly. The value of the pool has to stay the same. So what would happen? So value of the pool stays the same. So now the math is 240 divided by 2 equals 120,000. KDA price equals 5 divided by 5 equals 24,000. The pool actually goes up by my math if I'm realizing it. This is where the impermanent loss starts to happen. It's only impermanent because you haven't closed it out. If this happens and you close it out, it will be considered permanent loss. Right? So this is the tricky part. This is what people don't understand. They think, oh, I'm just going to pair two assets together and I'm going to be all okay. Right? So Kadena goes up to $5, right? So Kadena is now $5. So if we had 30,000 KDA at $5 equals equals 150,000. And our UST is still the same. So we got 120K UST at $1 equals 120,000. So if we need our pool to remain the same, what do we need to do? Yeah, you get less KDA when you exit. Exactly. Exactly. You guys are catching on. No, value of UST is always going to be $1. The value of UST itself cannot change. Must remain constant. This is the safest way to go in DeFi. So what they're going to do is they're going to say, oh, hey, you added 30,000 Kadena to that pool. Well, if Kadena is $5, we need to make sure that that Kadena equals $120, 120,000. So they're going to take 120,000, divide that by 5 equals 240,000, right? So now you end up with 24,000 Kadena, right? Right? Now what happens? No, you don't get to convert 15K KDA to UST. Nope. So at this point, if you closed everything out, guess what you're going to end up with? You're going to end up with 6,000 less KDA. I did not understand the rest till now. That's what I was saying. Like this one, just these classes, right, will pay for your lifetime memberships. This first 30 days, because I'm only going to be doing it for another year. So, right, like this alone right here, the amount of money and dumb money you'd lose going into DeFi blind, I just saved you. You know what I'm saying? You don't get 6K. No, you don't get to keep it. The pool takes it. Because the value always has to remain the same. Now, if KDA goes down in value, say KDA goes to $3, what happens? This is where people lose a shit ton of money, Stewie. You got it, Rick. The number of KDA goes up. Exactly. Does it? Yep. You get more KDA at closing, 100% right. But did you make any more profit? No, sir. You're walking with 240,000. Right? So this is why when everybody talks about DeFi at the peak of a bull run, why would you take your profits? We don't have to take our profits. We're just going to stake our Kadena and pair it with a smart asset like UST that when price starts to dump, we end up with more coins of KDA. But don't quote me on that part. Don't 100, like this is where you guys need to go above and beyond to do your own research. I've never done it with a lot of money. I played around with it, right? And you're making 50% APY. So sometimes the small losses, right? But it sucks when you end up with less KDA, right? Like that's definitely what you do not want to do. You do not want to end up with less KDA. Now, here's another way. You know, it gets really deep, right? So let's try it one more time. Now let's change it to something wild. Let's change it to BTC. Right? And we'll say BTC KDA equals $4. We'll say BTC equals 40,000. All right. And we want our pool to have a value of $400,000. How many KDA and how many Bitcoins going in that pool? Similar to short and crash, but again, you guys got to do extensive research. I'm just giving you the keys to the Lambo. I can't teach you how to drive it. I give you enough knowledge to know how dangerous this shit is. And it's not something you just go, oh, I'm going to be a liquidity provider. I'm going to pair assets. The bull run kicks off. You think you're staking. And the next thing you know, you got 10 Cadena at the end of the bull run and a shit ton of UST, you know? So Stewie says 50,000 KDA. So if we add 50,000 KDA, 50,000 KDA times $4 equals 200,000. 40,000 times 5 equals, looking good, man. You guys are on your A game today. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Stewie the Crazy on his A game, man. All right, so our pool equals, or our K equals 400,000. So we now have 5 BTC, or we have 50,000 KDA. All right, there, yep. 50,000 KDA, and we have 5 BTC. All right, so this is our pool. All right, and our pool is worth 400,000. Now, what happens when KDA goes to $5? Now I'm really gonna get the wheels turning here. Definitely, Stewie. And this is why I say I'm showing you guys all the opportunities that you guys can use to make money. How you guys run with it, what you guys do with it. I'm not super big into this, probably because I never spent enough time to learn it, you know, but people are very, very profitable. I guess gave you one value. What happens when KDA rises? Or you got the values on the screen there, Rick. Yep. So KDA staying, Bitcoin's not changing. KDA changed, went to $5. So Digital Apollyon says 20,000 divided by 5 equals 40,000. So KDA jumps up to $5. So that means our KDA value equals, oops. So if KDA is now equaling 50,000 times 5, right, equals 250,000. Our pool would be over, right? Yep, KDA is removed from the pool. How much? 40,000 KDA now? Now? Yep. Now what happens? Yep, so we just lost KDA. So now we got 40,000 KDA, right? And KDA is $5. And we still have our 5 Bitcoin, right? Now what happens when Bitcoin goes up to 50,000? Now pool can't grow, Rick. Pool has, that's the problem. The pool has to stay the same. The K value has to stay the same. The pool can grow when other people join the pool. Like the pool continues to grow, but what you did here in the beginning is you got your value. Your percentage of the pool, right, is your K value. BTC drops. For BTC, exactly. And this is where you get real funky with impermanent loss, because I don't understand this part, right? So now BTC goes up, right? So you still own the same value that you put into the pool, right? So BTC goes up to, what do we say? BTC goes to, say, oh, I did say from 40 to 50,000, right? Then you end up with 4 BTC. Your percentage of the pool, the amount of money that you put in, 40,000, you still got, or sorry, 400,000, you still got 400,000. Plus whatever interest you earned. But you have less of the coins, if that makes sense. Now, if they both drop down, what happens? If they both drop down, if they both drop back, guess what? You now have the same exact amount of KDA that you started with and the same amount of Bitcoin, right? Plus whatever interest you did. So if you could pair two assets like KDA and BTC, you want to make 100% APY. And if you can do it for a year and both values remain the same, you're golden. Branch, your K value is going to remain the same. So what they do is they give you LP tokens. If I paired BTC and KDA, they randomly give you a LP token. It's not going to say 400K on it, but let's just say it did. 400K, BTC, KDA, LP, right? They give you an LP that's worth 400K. So that represents your ownership of that pool. Now, anybody else can come and add more Bitcoin and more KDA to the pool. It doesn't affect your ratio because they're going to get their own K value and they're going to get their own LP token, which represents their portion of the pool. When liquidity pools start, it's all one big pool, but everybody has their own individual representation of their percentage of the pool. I think, you know, like I'm teaching you guys the best that under my knowledge. And this is what I was working on with Steve. Like I was making all those VY Finance videos for free for him. So in exchange for him to come on the show and train us and do this one-on-one, right? So I was like, oh, I'll do the work. I'll edit, you know, 8-minute videos, 10-minute videos to get one-on-one training from the best expert in DeFi that I've ever met. Even to this day, I've never interviewed or spoke with anybody that has more knowledge or understanding about DeFi than Steve, the founder of VY Finance. Like I was never betting on VY Finance to win because I thought it was whatever. Like I thought it was a great DEX or whatever. I was 100% betting on Steve to design the most baddest ass DeFi DEX because he took $5,000 and in less than a year turned it into $350,000 doing nothing but DeFi. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. And he's building auto harvesting bots that do this all for you. That would be a logical way to think about it, 619. Yep. So from what I gather, but there's some way that like there's some way that you can get really wrecked here, pairing two assets. And I don't fully understand how it works. Now what's even worse, right? What's even worse? What's worse than one asset going up and the other one remaining constant? This is the one that got me scared. This is why I was like, all right, Steve, I am not touching DeFi without, like, I was trying to go in on it, and then I started to, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. And then it took me like 6 months, man, maybe not 6 months, but like 90 days of like really getting involved and like practicing and practicing and practicing to wrap my head around this. Both going down is okay, yep. So what's worse than just one asset going up by itself? There you go, Charles Ward got it. Rug pull. Yeah, one going up, one going down. So let's play that out, right? So we got at $4 per KDA, we need 50,000 KDA. Now let's say the value of Kadena goes to $10, right? And at the same time, the value of Bitcoin goes to 20,000. No, both going up is really good, Kadena Britton. Both can go up. Sorry, well, both can go up. You're gonna end up getting less of each asset, yeah. So you want them to stay the same. You want to, yeah, bearish market conditions. This is all making sense, 100%. You don't want them both to go up because then you're gonna end up with less of both assets. So who wants to do the math on this one? Dreams come true, baby. Yep. And with DeFi, why it's so badass to get good at coding? Because you can program bots that remove you from trades based off of your impermanent loss hitting a certain percentage. So as long as the two assets stay below, you know, you could put a limit on Bitcoin and put a limit on Kadena and say, hey, if these assets ever separate by X%, you know, close out my position. You could do so much with bots. You can move from different protocols. We'll dive deep as down the rabbit hole as we can go. So what happens if KDA hits $10 and BTC hits $20? Danny B says, look at Danny B is getting ready for degenerate full send. B and LP at the top, write it down. Take a loan out on crypto at the bottom and 2x your entire stack. The formula's there, guys. So we got 10 BTC at 20,000 equals 200,000. And we got 20,000 KDA at $10 equals 200,000. Nice work, Digital Apollyon. Good job, homie. Good job. Yeah, if you guys aren't into this, you guys don't have to stick around, man. This is just for the people that want to take this seriously and learn. Yep. Equals 400,000. So would it be smart? And there is a liquidation threshold. Now, say we're right here at this point. And Kadena gets hacked and it goes down to 50 cents. What happens? So impermanent loss, it only becomes permanent if you close out your position, or so he says 400,000 KDA. So we got 400K KDA. And we got, what do we got? How much Bitcoin Digital Apollyon? And this is our original starting. This is what we started with. There you go, Digital Apollyon. Good job, homie. 10 BTC, because it stays the same. So now we got 10 BTC, and we got 400,000 KDA, right? Now what happens if BTC goes to 50,000? Say BTC never dropped in the first place, and BTC is 50,000 a coin. Or say BTC goes to 100K. Let's do it even better. BTC goes to 100K. Kadena pretty much gets wiped out. You end up with what? You end up with 2 BTC. Right? And KDA is only going one way. So the longer you wait to exit that position, once a rugs became a tug, once you realize the rug wasn't coming along with a tug, and KDA crashes or tanks or gets hacked or something catastrophic happens, and price starts to plummet. Yep. So you started this position, right, with 50,000 KDA and 5 BTC, right? The worst thing you can do with pair with a good asset like BTC is pair it with some shat coin. So if we jump over to Raydium really quick, you will see why the high APY pairs are the most dangerous pairs. Right? Right now, USDC pairs are fairly safe, right? Why is pairing a USDC with a shitcoin safe, right? If the shitcoin goes down in value, you end up with more USDC. Yeah, see? Right? Now, if you take a look at like Bone and Sol, right? If you become a liquidity provider and you want to make this 278% APY, but if you put in 10 Sol and say 100,000 Bone, and then Bone rugs, and Bone starts to tank, you might be making 278% APY, but we see this market make way bigger swings than that, right? You are the house, Danny B. You're getting 3%, baby. Or 0.03%. That's how you make the money. That's how you're making your liquidity. Right? Every time somebody swaps one of these assets, your LPs get you your share. They get you your cut. USDC is a stablecoin. That is correct. Yep. This is not for the faint at heart, man. You can click on it. Yep. So in theory, right, you wait for Bone to pump, right? You wait for Bone to do like 100x, or not 100x, but you wait for Bone to do a 10 or 20x, right? And Bone has a nice pump. Once it's pumped and hit a peak, you in theory could try to play that game, right? You come over here, add Bone Soul. That way when Bone starts going down, what are you going to end up with? You're going to end up making more Soul. And on top of that, you're going to be making 278% APY. Yep. So I can't tell you exactly when to start it. And this is why I said, what do you guys need for today, right? You need a Solana wallet. All right, so now we're connected. We got our Solana D's Nuts wallet connected, and we need to get some Solana. Perfect. Okay, cool. Sorry, I forgot you guys can't see me. Give me 1 second. I've just got to share my screen so I can get the Bybit screen open. So this will be the same. This is going to be the same exact setup that you guys are going to do when CADEX launches, or whatever DEX launches on Kadena. All right, so now we're going to go into our spot account on Bybit. We're going to go over to spot. Don't know why that's acting. Okay, there we go. I'm going to grab some USDC pairs. I'm going to swing down. I'm going to grab some Solana. I'm just going to market buy in because I just need one Solana. Maybe I'll grab a couple Solana. What's the price of Solana at right now? 86 bucks. It's going to break, man. I don't want to have more than 2 Solana because I think it's going to go down. I'll just buy $150 worth of Solana. So I'm going to buy some Solana. Got Solana in my wallet. Now I'm going to go to spot. And we need our Phantom wallet address. So we're going to come over here. We're going to choose deposit. We're going to choose deposit. Choose Solana. Grab our address. Come over here to our Solana. We're going to choose withdrawal. We got to add the wallet. So I got to go through the whole BS of adding a wallet. This is what I have to do every time I got to do the giveaways for you guys. It's pretty painful. So I got to come in here. Got to choose wallet. Paste in our wallet address. All right. Now that I went through the process of actually adding the wallet, now I got to come back in here. Now I got to withdraw it. And this is the process where then they have to send you an email. You have to get the confirmation email. You have to come back into your, whatever it's called, your two-stepper. You got to two-step it. So we're going to put in our address. We're going to choose all, hit submit. You got to choose get code. They're going to send it over to your email. So I'm going to grab that right now. Still waiting. Oh, there it came. So now we had sent it over. It says it's sent. How long is it going to take to send out? We'll have to see. Solana's, I mean, I don't even know if we can actually get Solana deposited, if they're having issues with it or... So we'll hang out and chat for a second. So you guys with me so far? Yes, Blue, but there's some point that it liquidates your position. I'm not sure. No. You get whatever one is less valuable. That's a good question, Blue. We'll have to play into that. Right? I've given you guys, I should have given you guys enough here for you guys to dig on your own and get it. But we can go over it again and again. But like I said, there's no, you're not going to get it to make sense until you take $50 and you go over there and you pair it and you watch it happen, you know? That's the best way to do it. That's why I was saying you guys get a little bit of, just a little bit of play money in here. And again, why you have to have, I keep telling people 2,000 KDA. You know, 2,000 KDA is a good, what is that right now? Almost 10K. Like those, you know, you kind of need a little bit bigger of a bag so that you can, the learning curve is expensive, man. If you don't have the money to play the learning curve, then your best bet is just to buy Kadena and just wait to stake it somewhere safe and earn the 5% you can earn off staking your KDA or whatever they pay you, you know? You can't add extra coins. Well, you can add extra coins, Danny, but it's not like adding to a position when you're down to make your position better kind of thing. You then change the dynamic to the pool by adding your own coins. Yeah, you get more of the lesser value token. That's what it is. Yep. So if Bone is $1.50 and then Bone goes down to 2 cents, you're gonna end up with a lot of Bone, if I'm not mistaken how that works. Yep. I don't know shit about this, guys. I mean, I know enough to to know what not to do and know how dangerous it is and know that you can't just see 240% APY and think that all I have to do is pair these two assets and I'm making 240% APY. Let's go. I learned that the hard way. What the F, man? I started in here, things are going up, but my position's still 240%, you know? Now you're also got to add in the fact that you're compounding, right? So every 8 hours, you need to compound and add more to that pool, and add more to that pool, and add more to that pool. We just getting started, baby. You hear this? You hear the reason? You hear the saying "farm and dump, farm and dump." When you're making 1,000% APY, you're not farming and adding to your position. You're farming, dumping, farming, dumping, farming, dumping. And the idea is, you know, when I'm making 1,000, 2,000% APY, can I get out my initial investment so I got nothing to lose, and then everything else I leave in there is play money kind of thing? Anchor protocol is good enough for you? What are you going to do, sell your KDA, Blue? Yes, they could. Yes, they could, Blue. That's why I say this whole system is rigged, guys. It's legit rigged. You're 100% right on that, Blue. KDA DocuShield pairing is cowboy time? What does that mean? KDA USD. I mean, if KDA stays the same value, yeah, but if KDA goes up, you're gonna have more you're gonna have more USDC. Yeah, like the Ohm forks were really where it was at, you know? You need to have those crazy high APYs, and you need to get in and get out immediately. Like I signed up for Taki Cryptos or whatever, his digital course. I got his spreadsheet, and I was just watching how he was doing things. Like, you have to be into the crazy high APYs literally like the second. Like we did it great with Templar DAO, right? We were in that thing for like 5 days and made 13 grand and got the F out. And if we didn't, we wouldn't have a shit right now. Still have 100 positions though, for sure. All right, let's see if we got our money yet. All right, we got our Solana. Okay. All right. So what degenerate shit do you guys want to do first? So I guess the first thing we need to do is you need to have equal value of assets, right? So we need to figure out what we want to pair, what we want to farm. If you guys were going through this list, what would be the safest thing that you would say to pair together? Sorry, okay. Put it this way. If you had to buy one asset and you wanted to earn APY, I guess the safest way possible, what asset would you buy? There you go, Blue. Blue said get a loan on his KDA. Yep. That's very, very smart, Blue. As long as KDA doesn't drop by 50%, yeah. Yep, nothing would be worse than a hack, and they happen all the time. Yeah. So you always want to make sure that you have spare money on the side to either A, pay back your loan immediately, or, you know, Flux and AVAX. we're in Solana, buddy. We're in Solana. There you go. There you go. Right. There you go, Simon. Exactly. Raydium. Why? Because I can go over here and go to staking. And we got one asset, right? I can stake my Raydium on Raydium's DEX and generate 17.69%. So where Blue's like, I could go, I'm going to do Anchor Protocol. So he would have to basically take his Kadena, bridge it over using one of those bridges that get hacked constantly. Take one of those bridges and bridge it over, and then take it over to Anchor Protocol. Or he would have to basically stake his Kadena in some lending protocol that he could borrow UST from. Then he's going to have to take the UST and bridge it out of Kadena into another ecosystem, into Luna. And then he'll have to take that and stake it over in Raydium. And then if shit goes wrong, he needs to sell that, bridge that back. Hopefully the bridge didn't get hacked and that's what caused it to go down, because then he can't bridge it back. You know? So these are all things that you got to keep in the back of your mind. You're always over collateralized, Rowfields. So for you to take a loan out for $100,000, you need to put up $120,000 worth of collateral. This ain't like houses loans. Like you don't get to take a loan in crypto because you got a good credit score. I mean, you might one day, but that's everything that's wrong with finance, right? The idea is that you never want to be taking out loans because then you're spending money that you don't have. If you're taking out a loan to buy, I'm not going to go buy more KDA with a loan that I take out on my crypto right now. You know, that doesn't seem smart. I wouldn't go take a loan out from the bank right now to buy more crypto. Because if something went wrong, then you're fucked. Really fucked. Yep. Yeah, like the wormhole bridge got, anybody that needed to use that wormhole bridge during that hack so they could pay off a loan, she gone. That wasn't happening. Yep. So the question was, what would be the safest way to generate passive income in the Solana ecosystem if you wanted just to buy one asset? Raydium. Now, if we take a look, what else would I be looking at? I would want to look over here and say, what is the price of Raydium done? Right? Over a year period, do I think that Raydium's going to maintain its value or gain in value? So market cap is 220 million. Price point is $2.15. And if we just take a look at history and talk about price, we can see price rises up to 15. And this has pretty much been its floor. It hasn't really dropped much below 2. But if you hold it for a year and it drops any more than 17.9%, it's good that you're staking it because you're getting more of it. But if it's never going to return back up, and I think Raydium shall return back up, I really do. Was able to get to $1 billion market cap before. Over here, 550 billion. And now it's at that same. Yep. Same thing. So something like CADX that didn't launch with with 3% of coins in circulation, 19%, only having 19%, and it's been out for over a year. Yeah, over a year and a half, February, March, April, May. So a year and 3 months. And they've only got 19% of coins out, but when they launched, they only had like 3%. So the way that Radium and the Solana ecosystem launched with their tokenomics, really designed for longevity, like really long rewards. You know, Serum's only got like 3% of coins out in circulation right now. So really good assets. So when it comes to these dexes, we want to add liquidity, right? So what is the first thing we wanted to do? We wanted to find a farm. And who said what the safest farm? Anything with a stable. So we can do Radium USDC. It's got 35%. Radium's, I feel like, a little bit more stable than Solana. So it'd probably be safer just to dick with Radium and Solana. So what is the first thing we need to do? If this is the pair we want to get, what is the first step? And if you already know, if like you're really good on this and you fully understand it, let somebody else answer so we can get some people getting some chances. Yeah, you get fucked. Oh yeah, you don't have to pay the loan, Simran. You've already put up collateral. They're gonna take that. You're gonna get liquidated and you lose everything. I think when if you over collateralize on a loan, oh, they liquidate your position and pay the loan off. So you're still left with the extra 20,000, I believe. Bingo, bingo, bingo. Aha, my man. My effing man. Who said that? Who said that? I was waiting. I was going to surprise you guys with that one, but who called that one out? Who said that? Who said that? Digital Apollyon, safest way would be 2 stables in my opinion. Radium is spicy in comparison. Nailed it, baby. Nailed it. Safest way to generate passive income. It's right here, baby. UST and USDC. As long as, you know, Tether doesn't get hacked, as long as, you know, USDC doesn't get hacked, as long as there's no issues with those 2 stables, you can generate 8.8% APY. So say Kadena moons, right? And our KDA is whatever. In theory, just like Blue said, you could take out a loan, get yourself a couple stables, right? You could take out a loan for, you could stake $1 million, right? You take out 100 grand, right? It's only not, you're only taking out 10% a loan. You're over collateralized by 90%. The odds of you getting liquidated on that are nothing. And then you got 100 grand over here, just making you bonker money. You know, you could do it 20,000. You know, 20% of your loan. I doubt Kadena's ever going to drop in value by like it just did right now, right? Like you'd be over here scrambling right now because Kadena went 90% off. You know, but hopefully when we get up in those much higher market caps, $100 billion market cap. You know, this is crypto safe as boring for sure. But I'll make up for the boring on my yacht with a bunch of beautiful women, getting back rubs, playing Uno, shit face, butt naked, playing Uno naked on a yacht. I got goals, bitches. Yep. Yep. Uno. Uno butt naked. Right. Right? When I got $50 million in the bank, crypto doesn't need to excite me. I'm going to make up for that in other ways. So I'm cool with boring in crypto when I got 50 million in the bank. For sure. Donkey has stable pools paying 27%. You're also in donkey finance. So what is the first thing we need to do? Let's stick with the Raydium. Let's stick with the Raydium USDC pair. And we'll start there. Donkey is a rug. Did they rug it finally? Man, but Crypto Banner told us that was legit. Again, really? Say that again, Mr. Doc Rocks? Oh, yeah, yep. Yep, USA definitely keeps sticking it to us, man. Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to see how that works, Tommy, because there are still fees because you're going to be doing a transaction, but they're so small. But yeah, I mean, you might be able to 1 minute compound on something like Cadena. I don't really know how that works. You'll be able to stake BTC. That's one of the things that they were really adamant about. BTC and ETH. They already got wrapped ETH, and wrapped BTC is coming now. It'll come before the launch. So yeah, you'll be able to make. I don't know what you'll be able to make on CADX, but you'll definitely be able to do it. Stake your Bitcoin in there. I don't know if I'll use. I mean, I'll mess around with it, but I don't know if I'll put much money on it right away. Just to start, we'll see. I'm gonna probably sit back and let everybody else be the guinea pig on this one. So who's still here with me? Is anybody? I'm here talking to myself. Oh, I got 33 of us in here. All right. Nah, we haven't. I'm not really paying attention to much until they get on an official website. Oh, but yeah, they announced the KD Swap tokenomics. I think it was on Twitter the other day we saw it. Somebody shared it in here. Oh, yeah, EOD has it. I think he can share it in the Telegram if you ask him. I thought you were talking about KD launch, my bad. All right. So what's the first move, guys? What's the first move, man? what we got to do. Our mission is to add liquidity. There you go, Derek. Have my Phantom wallet connected. Let's do this. That's what I like to hear, man. That's what I like to hear. Buy LP tokens. Close, Simran. Close. We're gonna acquire some LP tokens. There you go, Jari. What up, homie? Get that money, bro. Get that money. My first move, there you go. Digital Apollyon. My first move would be to convert my Solana to KDA. There you go, KP. Yeah. KP's got it right. He got it half right. All right. KP nailed it. So how much Solana, how much Radium do I need to buy, KP? Yep, there you go. Stewie says you have to have equal Ray and equal USDC. So let's let who answered that one? KP. Let's KP answer that. KP, how much Radium do I need? I got damn it, man. That'll work. That'll work. 75, 75. All right. 75. I need 75 coins of Radium. Half your Solana. So if we came over here and we did swap, I would choose half and bingo. Now I got Radium, right? So we're going to come down here. We're going to choose swap. And what this is doing is it's going to connect to my Phantom wallet. And it's going to ask me, am I going to approve that transaction? We're going to hit approve. I just want to make sure that you guys can see everything on here. There we go. Okay. So if we open our wallet now, what are we going to see? Right? So now what is nice about, did you guys see that? Did I have to come over here and add Radium? No, just defaulted. Beautiful. Why doesn't every wallet do that? You did that crap on Uniswap, you would not see Radium in here. You'd have to go to manage token list and you could search for it. But if you don't see it up here, like if we wanted to do Bone right now, is Bone in here? Bone's not even an asset yet. So you'd have to come over here to CoinMarketCap. You'd have to try to find the Solana Bone. Let's just say it was Bone Swap, for example. I would have to come over here. If that was the right Bone, you would see a Solana address right here. You'd have to copy their Solana address. And then you have to come back over to your Phantom wallet. Go to manage tokens, and then you would legit have to paste in that address here. And if it was a Solana one, it was the right Bone, it would automatically generate the Bone we were looking for. And then we just click the add button. And then it would show up down here. Yeah, they give you like a 0.1% buffer or 1% buffer on the exact amount. So Solana is sexy as fuck when it works. It is, man. So now I got Solana and Raydium. What's next? Yeah. So now I need to get the, nope, we still don't have the USDC. So now we need to grab our USDC. And again, we're going to do this a little different, right? I'll grab half of my Solana on this one. Well, I'll do max. But I always want to leave a little bit in there, right? So I want to make sure that I don't go over. So I'm just going to go 0.7 worth of Solana. And I'm going to swap because you can't just swap 50-50 because you're going to run out of gas. So we're going to grab our token. Now, what do we need to do? Now we need to add it to the liquidity pool, right? So we're going to come over to the left side. We're going to add liquidity. And we're going to do Raydium and USDC. But we also want to do two stablecoin pairs. So I don't want to have to go through the process of sending over more money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose Raydium. And I'm just going to do half of my Raydium. And it's going to automatically add the proper amount of USDC. So you can see the ratio. Like this one is $35.99 and this one's $35.93. That's where he's saying that there can be a little bit of a buffer. It doesn't have to be dead nuts. So you're going to have to come down here and you're going to have to check I confirm. Do not warn me for this pool again. And now we're going to approve our transaction. And what's so sexy about Solana is this feature right here. So if we come back over and we look in our wallet now, you're going to see Raydium, USDC, Solana, we take a look at our recent transactions, app interaction, pairing your liquidity, right? We're going to come over here. We're going to add liquidity. We can see right here they gave us 6.375 LP tokens. And we're going to add our liquidity. Oh, sorry. Don't know if, does it show my LP tokens in here? I thought it did, but I might have to go stake them first to get them. Yeah, so it's not going to show my LP tokens yet. Now we're going to come over to the farm tab on the left-hand side. We're going to choose farm. And we're going to scroll down till we see our pool, right? Now we're going to choose start farming. So if I choose max, I don't know why. I could have swore it normally shows you in your Solana wallet your rate USDC LP tokens. Oh yeah, there it is right there. It just took a minute to populate. Okay, so before I'm even on this page, if we were still back over here in the liquidity page and I open up my wallet, I'm going to see right here 6.7 Ray USDC. It's so freaking nice. On PancakeSwap, it just says Cake LP. And you'll end up with like 50, Cake LP tokens in your wallet, and you have no idea what one is what, or I didn't anyways. I don't know if it's still that way, but it was. So now I can see my LP tokens, but I'm not making any money, right? I'm not. I mean, am I making liquidity on that? Am I still making money because I have them? No, I don't think I'm making any money until I actually am farming them. So now we're going to come over here. We're going to hit max. and we are going to stake our LPs. In our total LPs, right, there's your 6.71. So again, what is the math on that? X times Y equals 6.71. So that's your analogy, right? Your 6.71 is your 6.37 is your K value. Simran says, everybody says it. Man, I got so much shit from like our community when Kadena didn't meet their deadlines and like they weren't updating anybody and they weren't talking to anybody. And I made a post. I was like, something about like Kadena needs to get it together because Solana is the absolute best blockchain. Now it doesn't work, it doesn't run, but when it comes to like delivering legacy style quality, it feels like better than a bank. I like Raydium better than I like Chase Bank. I like it better than I like Bank of America. It's clean, it's sexy. You know, if they were to centralize block production, if Solana centralized block production, this shit would be so fucking lightning fast and so flawless and clean and easy for people to use. You know, people think that, you know, Solana's dead because it can't scale. I'm telling you guys, Solana centralizes block production and this shit's lightning fast and sexy and they never have any issues about breaking or, you know, anything of the sort. Kadena's going to have a competition, baby. Because we're at 20% global real world adoption. Solana's breaking at 3,000 TPS. Their blockchain's capable of 60,000 TPS. They claim upwards of 720,000. So once basically the size of the Ethernet cables that connect everything on a global scale, once those cables are upgraded, which we can't be far away from, because everything is hitting limitations. Even big banks are hitting limitations with how much data they can send. It won't be far before we either upgrade those or it's all done wirelessly. And when it is, you know, Solana's going to be beast, man. I wouldn't count it out of the race. So, because nobody's going to, like he said, Simran said, I wouldn't mind playing some games on Solana. 100%, right? 100%. So we're going to stake our LP token. Again, look at it right here. If you would have did a max, you wouldn't even been able to stake this. You would have been going over to another exchange to get some more Solana just to send it over here so you could pay your fees. And you're going to forget to do it, I promise. And you're going to spend all your gas. It happens every time, all the time. So now if we refresh the page here in a second. Welcome to Raydium V2. Raydium V2 is built for a faster, more streamlined experience. However, it is still under development. You can still use V1 for full features. Help Raydium improve by reporting bugs here. Like, so nice, man. Like, oh, you're having an issue? Please report it. We'll make it as simple as possible for you. How easy is it to do? Oh my gosh, so simple. 4 questions, bug issues, fill out a form, submit it, done. Come on, KDA, baby. Right? This is the constructive criticism, like, oh, just let them build, just let them build. They let them just build. What do you mean let them build? They've been building for 6 years. This is the you're trying to talk about blockchain for the billions? It don't look like a blockchain for the billions. It don't even look like a blockchain for the hundreds. Because this is your competition. If you're not marketing, Solana is. And Solana's price has been responding better than Kadena's, you know? And I'm not talking about marketing like, you know, well, I am talking about marketing, right? Like, what's it to you to throw 100 grand at an EDM festival? Buy a stage, Kadena stage. Every one of us would be at that festival. I mean, I would. I wouldn't miss it, right? I would be on that motherfucking bitch front row. Wiling out. Butt naked, playing Uno, front row. Yeah. Or when AVAX screws you and 10x its gas fees. Yeah, now AVAX could, in theory, do the same thing, Optimus. AVAX gas fees are 6 cents to prevent DOS attacks. Solana, in theory, could do the same thing. Solana could bump their gas fees up to, you know, a penny, and it would prevent a lot of those DOS attacks. Solana's, does anybody know why Solana's DOS attacks are happening? We'll cover that after that. Don't let me end this without covering that. So now if we take a look down here, check that out, guys. I deposited. My total value is $71. So how I would do this, if this was me, because this shit gets so effing confusing, right? No better way to do it than right here. Unless you guys got one, maybe spreadsheets and making it more, you know, streamlined. But I would build myself a CADX PowerPoint. Let's just say this one will be Raydium. Call it Raydium staking. Boom. Right there. I just screenshot it because it's super simple. PowerPoints are super easy to use. And now I know that when I started this, and you could go however deep down the rabbit hole you want. I'm OCD, so sometimes I do way too much. But I would do something like this. All right, I just want to know exactly what I started with in that pool. That way I have a general idea. Like we said, if we have to know if we're getting, if a impermanent loss is affecting us, and you could probably take it a step farther. And it'd be nice to know the exact price of each asset when you started as well. So you know, just something like that. Yeah, anything just to give yourself something to work with. Obviously, when you got 50 billion coins and staking 30,000 different shit, you know, it's going to get really confusing. But I think that's the best way, just as you're a beginner, just to give you guys an idea of where you're at, how much money you're losing, how much money you're making. And when you come back over to Raydium, how often do you want to compound? Like, you're literally watching yourself make gains by the second. Not by the second, but we've already made 0.000075 Raydium. Right? Just in that few seconds. I haven't made a PowerPoint since it came out. What's that, Danny B? It's the 20 chain things that F's me up. What if they do 100 chains? Nobody needs that many out. Should be on the back end. Say that, Danny? Find that out, Optimus. Let us know about it. If Solana didn't, it can't be, man, because every time it gets busy, it breaks. You know? Solana would have flipped ETH. It would have. I think that Solana, I think that Kadena is quite possibly going to have, it's going to be the first crypto asset that we've ever seen completely separate from Bitcoin. Because you guys see what drives up the price of Kadena. Like, it's a new market. The market's already on bottom, and people are getting really bullish on that ecosystem. We could very possibly see a Kadena bull run. We could see a Kadena summer. It would be so dope to see the shit at bottom. No, I did not. $10,000. That's beautiful. I don't know how much Bloomberg cost. I assume 10,000. That's where they want to be putting their faces, on the fucking news, man. Get them on Mad Money. It's probably only 50,000. I would be putting Paul HSU and Will Martino on every news channel I could once things were turned on, but I wouldn't do it before. And I don't think that they would be marketing there like they're doing, like they have been marketing lately, if things weren't getting ready to turn on. I think I'm very, very confident that they're getting ready to turn on. It just seems like, it almost seems like they're trying to get that wallet issue figured out before they go full send. Because if they make it so you don't have to know what chain you're on, like they said today on Twitter, that would be baller. If you check out the links in the Telegram, the image I shot of it. So that's it, guys. That's really it. You can harvest, you can compound. We could go through and add USDC and UST, but it would be literally the same process. I'll do it just really quick just to show you guys one more time. But so now we need USDC and USDT, but we have Radium, and we already have USDC, so we need to get UST. So again, I could do all of my Radium, or I could do, let's just do half of my Radium, and I'll swap it, prove the transaction. Also, make sure that you always wait for that little bar to finish. If you try to go too fast, so swap confirmed, and then you're going to get another swap thing down here. Make sure you guys wait for those to finish. If I try to swap more stuff or do more too soon, it won't be there. So again, we're going to go back to the add liquidity button. We're going to choose USDC, and we have USDC, and we have USDT. We choose max. So look at what happens here. If I choose max USDC, what does it do? Oh yeah, I can't. I'll check it out here in a second, yeah. I try my best to keep up, but it's getting, now, like, my Twitter's growing so fast. It's growing faster than my YouTube. I can't keep up. Too many new people feel the need to tell me that there's fake accounts. It drives me crazy, man. And I know people are just trying to look out, but it's like, it even annoys me even more when I know it's people that have been sitting in this live stream that have heard me say it time and time again. Like some of my buddies that I'm buddies with, like, hey, dude, is this your Instagram? I'm like, motherfucker, what are you doing? Like, you know it's not my Instagram. Why are you even asking? You've heard me say that 1,000 times. No, it's not my fucking Instagram. And I know people just want to talk and be nice, but it just drives me bonkers, man. I got to deal with the bots, and I got to deal with people telling me about the bots. I'm like, fuck. I'll check that out in second branch. If you guys tell me like that, that's the best time. That's like the only time I'll be able to keep up with them. So what do we just see here? I came over here and I hit max USDC. What is the issue here? Heck yeah, Lube. Heck yeah, homie. That's why these are private, you know? You can't do this with all the trolls in the chat. You just can't. It's not possible. I couldn't do it anyways. I couldn't sit here. I even get frustrated just with a couple people in here, you know? I don't get frustrated, but it's hard because I want people to take this so serious, you know? Yep. Not enough UST. Stewie got it, right? So you always got to make sure that you're paying attention. It would probably give me an error. I mean, we can try it. Let's see what it does. I assume it'll give me an error and tell me not enough. Oh, yeah, right there at the bottom. So it'll tell you right here, insufficient balance for UST. So we just come over here and we hit max on UST and we add liquidity. Yep. So now we're going to go back over here to our farms. We're going to search USDT, USDC, baby. We're going to start farming it. We're going to choose max. We got 17. And you see here, right? Like the value, what's really unique, right? Is the value was 1773. And our LPs are worth 1773. So that was the amount of the, must have been the smaller one. I don't remember how much radium we put in there. 6.7 maybe? So if we wait a few seconds for the scans to finish, now we should be able to refresh it. Again, V2. We're going to choose stake. Oh, we're already staked. We just haven't heard anything yet. And if we open back up our wallet, what do we not see in there? We don't see no LPs, right? Because our LPs are staked. Our LPs are put to work for us. Now we can also come over here to this tab and choose show staked only, which is really nice. I always wonder why they didn't have that. But if you choose show staked only, it's just going to show you the pairs that you're farming. Later, Derek. Have a good night, homie. This is about it, buddy. We're wrapping it up right now. Yep. I'm not sure, KP. To me, desktops are so much more efficient. Of course you do, Derek. Those are your rewards, man. You're earning. The second your money gets in here, your money's working for you. You are making money instantly. Yep. So if I harvest this right now, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to lose money. It's that simple. The amount of that Solana transaction, this doesn't even equal 1 penny yet, right? So if that Solana transaction cost me, you know, less than a penny, I might not be making profit. Sucks when you work out of state. You don't got a laptop, KP? You get a laptop at Walmart for a couple $100. That would be more than efficient. Hell, you could probably get one at offline for $100 now. Laptops are so cheap. I would probably just go to Walmart. You can get them for like $100, $150. It won't be the greatest, but for this shit, all you're looking to do is web pages. It'll be easy for that. And it's only worth it if it saves you money, you know. If you're gonna make more than $100 in DeFi in a month, then it's a no-brainer, you know. Or if you see yourself using this a lot, yeah. So there you go. Digital Apollo on says he does all his on the phone. There you go. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. Lube's got it. What one thing was I going to cover? I don't remember what it was, Rick. I remember saying that, though. Thanks, homie. Oh, the Cadena Bull Run kind of thing? Last thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to stake the last little bit of radium, right? Like if you got radium in your wallet and it ain't doing nothing for you, you're absolutely, if you're going to leave it there, you're crazy for not having it over here. If there is, oh yeah, Paul, SSU, that's what I was going to do, Branch. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yep. So now our radium staked over here. Oops. There we go. The positive 8.7 ray. Bingo. Yep. So now we just sit back and we kick it. Watch our ray add up, baby. So total in today's video, we talked everything about, like I was going to go do the impermanent loss in tomorrow's video, but I think we pretty much covered it. I think this one video, in my opinion, it's just easier to do it all at once. It makes so much more sense just to go through it all at once. But that gives you guys enough. That should have taught everybody in this one video enough to go put 50 or 100 bucks in here and just go ham with it. Play with it. You know, figure out a system, what works for you. Like I said, PowerPoints work for me. PowerPoint might not work for you, right? Like do whatever system works best for you. Dappy gang. That looks like tight. Yeah. Let's do some let's pull up that Paul. Oh yeah, I was trying to find that, homie. I couldn't figure out. Ah, there it is. Branch, I found you.